What's up, people? This your boy John Doe. How y'all doing today, man? Another backyard banger. I swear I done recorded this video like 3 times right now. But this speaking on the whole layoff situation, or as I'm gonna say, trimming the fat, because all businesses does it. All businesses, when they don't need employees, they lay people off. All businesses do this. It's not, as long as I haven't heard any studio shutting down or anything crazy like that, because right now they're still acquiring businesses at the present time. So they can't be hurting too bad if they're looking to acquire business. From what I heard, they're trying to acquire Warner Brothers. How are you hurting if you're trying to buy a whole nother studio? You know, and they'll probably get that studio and lay people off from that studio because they don't need the extra hands on deck. You know, it's a slow period right now. You bring people in when you need extra hands, and then when you don't need all those extra people, you let them go, and they go about and find jobs elsewhere. You know, everybody don't make the final cut. That's the way it is. Like, if you ever, during the holidays, companies pick up extra people because they know it's going to be an influx of traffic, you know, so they're going to need the extra people to help with the influx. But after the season passes, a lot of those people get let go. All businesses does it. Amazon, Walmart, Target. So Microsoft do it as well. All companies do it. You bring in people when you need them. That's why you got temp services, you know. You got things like that where you can acquire extra people for your company if you need them. So with this layoff, I feel it's more of the media feeding into the whole narrative of this console war than it is a real big thing when it comes down to business. I don't see this even as something that's hurting the business, you know. And something else I want to speak on, when people are talking about the whole console situation, like when they come down to Microsoft, you know what I'm saying, it not being a console because it's made by Microsoft. If you go back and watch the Power On, Microsoft is a big company. And they're a software company. They're mostly a software company. Bill Gates said, software companies do software, hardware companies do hardware. And that's what you do. When they wanted to do a gaming division, when they first came out, they was going out, they tried to go out and acquire Nintendo. They wanted to buy Nintendo and put Xbox and put Windows on the Nintendo. Like, you could have had an Xbox and Nintendo right now. As crazy as it sounds, Nintendo would have folded and sold to them back when Xbox was coming out, because they shot them some numbers, you know what I'm saying, to try to acquire Nintendo. And they tried to do joint ventures with other companies back when they were first coming out, but nobody saw the vision or thought that Microsoft would be as stable as it is now. Like, Microsoft, like, companies aren't going to invest hardware in you if they don't feel that your company is going to be able to recoup for the money that they're putting in the hardware. Like, because when it comes to consoles, the money is made in the software, and Microsoft is a software side. So they felt Microsoft was going to be making all the money, and they're going to be taking all the losses with the hardware. But right now, Microsoft is such in a profitable space right now that companies are willing to make hardware for Microsoft. But it took years and years for them to actually see, you know what I'm saying, what Microsoft is doing. And Microsoft got the cachet now to tell them well, we're gonna give you a lump sum now, you know what I'm saying, and give you some of the proceeds as the console sells. But the one thing about that is Microsoft putting Game Pass on like TVs and putting the Xbox button on, like say I go get me a Samsung TV, you know what I'm saying? And they got Game Pass in it or whatever. You put an Xbox button on with remote control, that's fine. But when it comes down to a console, I feel they should stick to, like, if they're gonna do it with Asus, let them make one console, because you really don't want to confuse your core audience and have all these different SKUs. And I think it should be upgradable. Whatever console they put out, like you should be able to add another SSD in there, you know, upgrade your GPU, you know, make it a little bit better. You know, the CPU at the end of the day will bottleneck certain things, but you know, as long as they give you some upgradability, it's cool. I don't know what the hell that is. You hear that shit? All right, the sounds of Florida right there. But no, but back to what I was saying though, you know, things like that, you know, it's crazy. What the hell is that? But yeah, but back to what I was saying. But yeah, give us some way to upgrade the system. But when it come down to the whole that situation, the Xbox is the Xbox no matter, because like I said, they software, and they been wanting the third party out for other companies to do this hardware part of it. Now, back to the whole situation, because this is funny right here. When people talk about exclusives, people forget when Microsoft back in the day wanted to put their stuff on PC, the Sony fans jumped out the ponies, jumped out there, was like, oh, Microsoft isn't an exclusive console no more because they're putting all their games on the PC, blah blah blah. You know, they're falling apart. You know what I'm saying? They got their games on PC and made a big deal. It's not, their game's not exclusive. Their game's not exclusive. Then Sony did it, and then they moved the goalposts. Oh, it's still exclusive because it's only on Sony consoles. You get what I'm saying? But the games was on PC, and they put them on PC. Now, from what I'm seeing, God of War is supposed to be coming to the Xbox, but the opponent's not gonna. Now what they're gonna say? I mean, no, not where you can go get it off of Steam. They're supposed to be putting God of War on the console. But are the Sony fans going to say their game not exclusive? No, they're going to move the goalposts again. Well, it's made by Sony, you know. So you can't win anything Microsoft has done. Sony has followed. Why?